right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. It's been a while. You couldn't get rid of me that easy. We're back from vacation, and there is Notre Dame discussions to be had. It is great to be back with another Domer debate episode of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on. You know why. That way you'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want me. You could get me. Call in line 312-900-8815. Tell Johnny all you heard and seen. All right, today's topic, spring football is upon us, 2023 style. How big of a deal is it? Is it a bigger deal than normal with a lot of the stuff going on, new faces, new changes, drama behind the scenes, all of it, or not at all? What are your top priorities? What are your confidences and concerns? Is Notre Dame under a bigger microscope than usual? Those are some of the things we're going to discuss. And to debate it all, we are bringing in the needle mover of the year on Always Irish Radio, Mr. Patrick Cotter in his Irish green, looking to be seen. What's up, baby?
Hey, John.
What's going on?
How was your flight home from probably the most boring golf tournament in the history of golf?
It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed that golf tournament. Low key, me and we walked around. We're able to get in the front row. It was nice.
I bet the skill level of that tournament was probably to a part where you actually could have played and competed.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Who'd you watch?
It wasn't the most electric field. Let's just put it that way. It just wasn't. So
I can't imagine.
But we had a good time. I just wanted to see some golf, and we were in town, and it lined up. It was perfect. It wasn't as exciting as the Wild Desert Open you went to, which it was half. The tournament
that's a whole show.
It was half bachelor party and a little golf happened.
That's a whole show by itself, John. The stories I can tell from my 12 hours at the Waste Management.
I bet you there was a lot of waste to manage after it too.
You know, you think they'd be better at clearing the porta potties out considering it's Waste Management, but they weren't very good at that.
They get a lot of work, I bet, from every angle. And I mean that literally. All right. Enough with the golf. All right. So here's the setup, Pat. We did a show a few weeks ago, and it was fun, and we enjoyed it. The people enjoyed it. And then you went on vacation, went to Arizona, did the golf thing. Then you came back, and then I went to Florida. I was gone a week and a half. Now we're reconnecting. We were talking back and forth just about spring ball. I wrote an article, did a show. I think it's a big deal this year. I think there's a little more juice with Notre Dame spring ball. I think there's more eyeballs on it. There's more scrutiny. I think there's just more in the mix that gives it a little more juice than usual. And I don't know, I don't feel like you agree with that. So I want to kind of talk about why. Yeah. And I want to tell you why I feel that way. And then you feel free to tell me I'm dumb if you want. Now, here's how we're going to start, though. What I'm not going to let you do is say, John, you're over dramatizing or blowing something up bigger than it is because you know more than anybody. That's just what I do.
Yeah, there's no point of that argument because you wouldn't have a YouTube channel with all these people following you if my point was you over dramatize everything.
Right.
That's what makes you popular.
So some of this and some of any headline or clickbait title I do, some of that is purposeful, that I try to draw people in with a catchy title of an article or whatever. I've even had people, Pat, furious at me just from a cover of a YouTube video without even clicking it. Just because it says it's like, why don't you watch a few minutes and you'll see? Like,
I understand your the premise you're coming from, and I appreciate it. I just don't think it's right.
Well, that's beautiful. That's why we're doing this. That's what this is for. All right, do you want me to lay out why I think it has?
Yeah, go ahead. Lay out because
All right.
You did, like you said, you did a video, you wrote an article about it, but I'm sure not everyone has seen or read everything. So once you start with your
Sure.
position, and then I'll
So
dissect it.
I just feel that there's a little extra kick, a little more of a microscope. There's more uncertainty than we would want entering year 2 here. And I'll go over a couple things that I think are in the mix leading to that. One is bad PR and some concern and doubt about the offensive coordinator situation. That's one piece. New quarterback dynamic, expected to perform great. Hartman, you got Buckner. There's a competition there. I suspect Hartman would win it if they both stay healthy, but whatever. That's an interesting dynamic. They're both expected to perform well. We got to see it. All the OC hiring drama, we ended up hiring one, and now there's pressure on him to perform and have run a good offense. Year 2 of Freeman with much less leeway from the fans, I feel. We're getting further away from Kelly, more pressure on Freeman, which you made a big point of on the first show, and I agree with you. We're more and more getting into that. And I got questions defensively as well, and so do you. For those main reasons, I just feel like a lot of eyeballs are going to be looking at this spring and then blue and gold with a little more of a serious look than just, hey, it's the last time we get to see a practice and then it's summer. We don't see football forever. I just think there will be extra scrutiny, especially offensively with what has happened. And I simply want to see them play well all spring, and the reports to say things are going well. And then that all makes us feel better heading into the long layoff. And then we rejoin in August. And that's just how I feel. However, I admit I'm wound a little tight, Pat, maybe tighter than most. Okay. And so I have anxieties other people may not have. I look and worry about things other people may not because it's in my nature. I'm open to the idea that I'm a little too animated on this. I just kind of need to see these things go okay for the last time we see these guys till camp. What's so wrong with that?
Thank you.
Look at your face. You know,
What's so wrong with that? Ask your family. I hear them. What's so wrong with that? What's wrong with that position?
I was trying to keep it on mute as long as I could, waiting for this kid to leave.
What's wrong with that? I just need to see it look smooth to feel a little better before it's big layoff. What's wrong with that?
But you're okay. No, that's of course you want it to look smooth. All
right. Well, then the show's over. See ya. Thanks for being here.
Good episode. Good episode.
No, well, what's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with wanting it to look smooth, but that was not what your position was in your video that you posted this morning. Your position there was you want the offense to look exciting. You specifically said the word exciting.
Yeah, I do.
And but to what expense? And then what are you proving if the offense looks exciting? I don't care if the offense. I want the offense to look like it's an organized offense. You're not going to see that in the spring. You're not going to see the offense that you want to see in the spring game. It's the freaking spring game. All right. You know, here's my example. I remember, so you know me, when I start to hate a coach, I stop going. I stop giving that school my money. Right. So the last,
you've been saving a lot of money? Or
I've been saving since like 16 to 20. I didn't go to a game.
I was going to say, you've been saving a lot of dough.
Yeah, to hell with that guy. And I did it the last year of Tyrone Willingham. And then Charlie Weiss gets hired. And so we're all like, my brothers, like, yeah, we're going to go to the spring game. We're going to spring game. And I remember at the spring game, the defense and the offense got in a fight with each other. Okay. And I was like, yeah, see, look, they got attitude now. He brought his New Jersey attitude, and this team is going to be tough. And then what happened? They weren't tough when they got in real competition. You can fight with each other all day long. They're not tough when they're in real they weren't tough in real competition. Didn't matter what Charlie Weiss said. Yeah. They weren't. And so you're gonna get the same thing from the spring game. So that offense comes out and they hang 45 points on Notre Dame's defense. What do you get out of that?
Yeah,
I understand you're gonna be like, oh, good, Gerard Parker is the right guy. You know
But
what? He
these
might
are
be the right guy
extremes, though.
anyways.
But these are extremes. Like, I'm looking for reasonable middle ground, meaning like I want to be able to see Hartman throw the ball around, which is something the blue and gold game didn't feature last year because Buckner went down and then it was what it was. Like,
Right.
I want to, here's the other thing. It isn't just blue and gold, but when they're running those practices and the beat guys are in there and then they write their articles, I just need to hear things look like they're running smoothly. And it looks like this was a good transition from Parker from tight end into OC. And I don't have guys not knowing where they're going, and it just looks. And then we get reports, a little sloppy today, and then it's sloppy another day. I just would feel more comfortable. I just need it to be smooth.
I don't think it's like it's practice. It's not game time practice. It's not game week practice. It's spring ball. It's spring ball.
I think that's
if you're trying to set an expectation,
but that's why
you're gonna turn it to me last
in
time.
a regular situation. I agree with you. In a run-of-the-mill spring game and session, I agree with you. The whole premise of why I'm looking at this differently is because of the weird stuff that's gone on that I don't like and leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and uncertainty with the fan base of Parker deserves a clean slate. I don't know if he can have it because everybody doesn't think he was the first choice.
Sure.
And the first time we go 3 and out, a million tweets are coming to John's phone saying, this is what happens when you go and just hire the safe guy that's on your staff. I want to avoid that.
Okay. But if you think that's going to be bad in the spring game, wait till they go 3 and out against Central Michigan or the historic black college.
Well, my point.
That's where I care. That's where I care.
I agree, but I don't feel like sitting for the next 5 months having to deal with all of this doubt and negativity. If you look good in the spring, it would be a different viewpoint when we rejoin in August.
2 weeks ago.
But if it looks all crappy, we're going to be dealing with these questions all summer.
You're going to deal, John, if they come out and the offense is great and Hartman's flinging the ball all over the place and everything is great, fine. You might not hear questions about the offense, but you're going to be the defense, which 3 weeks ago, before all this crap went down, everyone was talking about holes in the defense. A lot of guys left, holes in the defense. Yep. And so you're just going to flip the script. So what does it matter? You're going to hear about it from one side or the other. And if you don't, if the defense looks good and the offense looks good, well, then you just got some weird thing going on where it's like, okay, but who won? How do you prove? Like, is the defense better? Is the offense better? Yeah. What did you gain out of it? Did you learn anything? And quite frankly, I don't care if I learn anything from the spring game. I used to go to the spring game for the enjoyment of being on campus in the spring, being able to see these kids practice. I told you, I like to see who comes out with the ones. I like to see freshmen making an impact or redshirt freshmen, sophomores that we didn't see before, see them on the field, see what them doing. I like to see guys run fast. I like to see conditioning and fundamentals. I just like to see guys participating and playing and just something new. New in the meaning of guys I didn't see last year or guys stepping up this year. So when it comes time for this season, I have an expectation of who's going to play. And we know, and even that's not going to carry over because half the freshmen are on campus and half the freshmen aren't on campus. So I don't know who's going to start in Ireland.
I think your point's a very good one. But I feel like you're approaching this in a very practical way to think about it. Like, and
90% of the things I do is.
And I think you're looking at it that way. And I admit I'm looking at it a little more emotional, like how we're going to feel. And I want to feel more comfortable.
Can I tell you why you're emotional to it? Can I tell you why? And it is not because of Andy Ludwig or Tommy Reese or Jared Parker.
Correct.
It's because of Marcus Freeman.
And in what way?
You, and I mean this with all love, you were the first guy on the Freeman train.
I admit
you were Freeman factor from the beginning.
Yep. I love
it. And so Right. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm a Freeman guy too. I got on board with you. Okay. But I think you invested some John capital into
Yep.
Marcus Freeman.
Yep.
And
And
so
that's a risk that I took.
exactly.
And I knew if you jump in early on this guy and it works out, that's going to come back to me and people will remember. And if he totally falls on his face,
falls
it's
apart.
also going to come
And
back.
so
And that is exactly what should happen.
Exactly. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but now it's not just is Gerard Parker the guy. It's, did Notre Dame screw Marcus Freeman? Therefore, my reputation might take a hit.
My reputation is.
That's true. You don't have much of a reputation, but
when I made the decision to go Freeman factor for head coach early, when Kelly was still there, I was doing show when Kelly was still.
You caused national headlines with your approach on that.
I'm just telling you, when he was the defensive coordinator and he was there a month, and my contact in compliance was texting me saying they can't handle the paperwork this guy's pushing through the recruiting office. Yeah. The next day, my show was, maybe this needs to be the head guy because he's actually putting in work and recruiting for once over there.
I agree.
I'm
on board with
all started.
Right. Exactly.
That's where it all started.
Exactly.
But here's my, I admit I'm having this issue, Pat. I'm going to tell you, I admit I'm having this issue. There are two tracks here that are kind of overlapped, but parallel, separate at the same time. One of them is practically on the field. Like Parker could be totally a competent, really good offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I don't think he will be. But my issue is that's not the point. I'm having a hard time giving up the frustrations of whatever it is that happened behind the scenes that caused the bad PR, bad communication, whatever it was, something didn't go right. And I don't have any patience for that right now. And I'm having a hard time separating the practical football from that part of it. It's putting me in a place where I'm frustrated because even if Parker's great, it's not going to make me not have resentment to that process and how bad it made us look in the position to put Freeman in. And I'm having a hard time separating that, and I admit it.
How have you been a Notre Dame fan for 37 years or 30? What, you're 37, right? Yeah, you're 30. Are you 38 already? Did I miss a birthday? How have you been a Notre Dame fan for 38 years and you can't get over the frustration of being a Notre Dame fan? Like it should be so ingrained. It should be so ingrained in you.
It always was, but here's the difference. When Notre Dame decided to take the risk of hiring a young first-time guy, which is something that they're not used to doing, I wanted to take that as an indicator that more things were getting modern and changing and upgrading and all of that. And I take whatever happened with that offensive coordinator situation as a strong indicator that not as much modernity is taking place that I wanted, and that is a underlying governor on what Marcus can do, and I don't like it. Lou didn't like it. Frank didn't like it. I don't like it.
So, we'll that is a separate show altogether. Frank didn't like it. That is a separate show because we could spend hours on this topic by itself. But when has this ever happened before? Like we talk about like the modernity, as you say. When has this happened before? When have you seen Notre Dame not get an assistant coach because of a buyout?
Well, I don't know, because you know what should happen? If it's a problem, you should never hear about it.
You may be right.
I can't answer that.
You
may be do it right. Nobody hears about it if it doesn't work out. That's the problem I have. When it comes to the biggest social issue nobody in Notre Dame agrees on, they get in a room, craft a message, and it's perfectly delivered. When it comes to football, I expect that same type of approach, and I didn't get it. You don't get to have perfect messaging and PR for everything else, and then football drop the ball.
I'll give you that. They did.
Come on. Why isn't football getting that same level of tact?
Swabrick's response, that email he sent out was,
he's hungover from partying with Bray as we speak.
I can't understand what he was thinking. He should have just taken my advice and kept his mouth shut and just left it alone. And he would have done himself
The
such
link
a better
to
service.
donate. I lost it, dude. I was reading. I saw the link to donate. I was like, this dude's trolling me.
Yeah, but
He's trolling me personally.
But back to the overall point of Marcus? Let's go back to what is.
But wait, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
This is on my list. We'll just get to it now. The hell with it. Now that we're here, now that I'm sweating, do you feel or fear that Freeman feels slighted in any way by all this? Or because I don't honestly know that or not.
No.
Do you feel like he feels that or no?
No.
So you don't think he feels like I was put in a crappy position and this kind of made me look bad up there?
Because he doesn't have time to care. He doesn't have time to care. He's got to recruit. He's got to coach. He's got to coach his coaches. He's got to raise money. He's got 6 kids, a hot wife. He's got a lot on his plate. Dude's got a lot on his plate. He doesn't have time to care. Even when it happened, and if it works out like everyone's saying it is, that Jack didn't want to pay the buyout, and then all that story, even if it happened at that moment, he got over it because like you said, he only had 2 options. He either quit or he moved on. And the guy moved on.
That means I have to.
The bad thing about it is,
he has to move on. I don't. I can hold that grudge, but
you can hold that. Fine, you can hold that grudge. I'm not absolutely. But what is that? What is that going to serve for? What's going to go forward with Notre Dame? Like that's the position I take. Is it worth it for me to sit here and complain about this and bitch about Jack Swabrick, or is it better for me to embrace Parker? And I'm not saying you're not embracing Parker, but to kind of go forward with the changes. I think he did a great job with the quarterback coach. I think he did a great the offensive line coach. I actually like better. I thought he was going to get that guy that retired out of Georgia. I like this guy a lot better. So I think he's made some great hires. We'll see how they pan out, especially on the recruiting side, which is his big thing. I think as far as like a quarterback coach is concerned, I think that guy's got the credentials to be good. So I don't expect a dip from the offense, but I told you I don't expect a dip from the offense. Not necessarily. I think the coaching staff. I do think Notre Dame missed without getting Andy Ludwig, because I think Andy Ludwig was a schemer. He was an X and O guy, and he had a coaching pedigree. I thought he would have been I've always been a Tommy Rees guy. I think Ludwig would have been an upgrade from Tommy Rees. I thought Notre Dame would have put themselves in a better position than they were before Tommy Rees. I now think Notre Dame is in the same exact position they were with Tommy Rees. They did not downgrade, did not get less of a coach as an offensive coordinator, as a quarterback coach, as an offensive line coach, did not downgrade in any way. What are you doing? Do you see my daughter crawl through?
Yeah.
I get out of here. No. They did not they did not
last time it was the wife. Now
yeah,
it's the
now
daughter.
it's the 9-year-old.
The dog gonna dance by next.
Notre Dame did not improve itself, but it did not hurt itself. Now, so I think you have potential again. We're in the same position we were before. We have potential that Parker can be a coach who advances this offense. But at the same time, the talent is better.
Yeah.
The talent is better.
And
that's why I'm not worried about what it looks like in the spring game, because I want this guy to get comfortable with this team. I want these guys to get comfortable with this play calling. So I don't want him to come out and try to run this amazing offense. And I don't need him to impress me. I need him to get comfortable. I need these guys to get comfortable in this offense. You have Hartman comes from the mesh system. The guy's never been in a pro style system. I just want him to be comfortable in it so he can efficiently run the offense. And so when we get to August, he can go out there and he can throw, 30 touchdowns during a football season and 4 interceptions and be on a Heisman list.
Yeah. And those are really good points. And I
know they are. They come from me and they're not yours.
Nice.
You got me rolling now.
Yeah, good one.
Let's talk about Tyrone Willingham again.
I think the irony in this is, while I have the frustrations with the question of like, does Marcus really have full support from those above him and all that? And those are the big things I wanted to change when he came in. All of that aside, I think this offense is going to be way better than last year just because of what you said. The talent, just the quarterback upgrade alone could provide that. The wide receiver guys coming in that are going to provide depth and competition provide that. I think so. The irony is I'm mad about this process while I'm also saying I fully expect the offense to look way better. And both can be true in my mind. But I can be mad about the process, but still think it's going to look good, what I'm going to see. It's
my concern 3 weeks ago was the defense, and my concern in the spring game will be the defense.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I just need, for me,
but I don't need the defense.
I just want it to look smooth and not obviously look like it's disjointed. That's what I'm saying.
Fine. I don't even care if it looks. I don't even care if it looks because Parker could be calling, perfect game, whatever. But Hartman's screwing up because he's not fully into the playbook yet. Or some freshman's in there and he runs a wrong route and Hartman throws an interception. Yeah. People are going to freak out because of that. And they're going to be, it's because you didn't hire Ludwig. And in the actuality is it's probably because of something stupid that has nothing to do with the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's totally
99% of the time. 99% of the time.
That's fair. So I got problems with the process and the way it came off and made us look and what you did to my man Marcus. I felt like you left him hanging on an island, all that. But I also think this offense is going to take a big jump forward. The issue is, like you said, I can't have this offense take off and then the defense drop back because then where are you at? Because then you're flipping strengths. So that defensive concern we all had, it's still there. Practically, that's still my number one concern. Perceptually, I'll feel better just seeing the offense look okay. It can't just look bad. It can't look disjointed. That's my thing. But I got questions in that front seven on defense, Pat. We're a little light. The linebackers were supposed to be one of the best units last year, and they let us down. Red zone defense, second to last in touchdown rate. There are things to clean up. You confident Al's going to tighten this operation up year two? Or does the personnel not allow it at certain spots this year?
I don't know.
That defensive front's a little light.
I'm not confident. No, because of the talent level, it's the exact opposite. The talent upgraded on the offensive side and it downgraded on the defensive side. And I don't mean that to be a slight.
I don't like
it. Might, what my position has always been. I don't know what he has. So, I follow the recruiting every year. I see all these guys come in and all that stuff, and then I forget about him. Like a guy doesn't play, I forget about him. And there are guys that he committed and joined a program 3 years ago, and then he gets on the field as a junior and he blows it up and he's awesome and he's great. Everyone's like, this guy's amazing. And I had no idea he was there. So that very well may happen again. I hope it does happen again. There's got to be some talent on that roster. Marcus this is his second year recruiting the defense. But I'll hold my judgment until Navy.
Yeah, and you know what else? I mean, I kind of like that. If you're going to play Navy, do it right away and get it over with and go ahead and play them. We could get into it. I respect the history, but I hate the way the game's played. It shortens the game. There's less margin for error. I guess there is some risk in that week one when you might be sloppier than you will be just because it's week one. I don't know, get that out of the way. But we agree the offense should be better. It's just, I want that narrative to not follow us all summer into camp. And I just feel like if the offense even looks, it'll be no way. I just want that not to be a thing.
You can't get away from it because even if, let's say Buckner transfers, Hartman beats him out. They say Hartman's going to beat him out. So Buckner transfers after the spring. People aren't going to say, people are going to freak out. People who hated Buckner, didn't want Buckner to be the guy, are going to say he left because of Andy Ludwig. or he left because of Tommy Reese. You know, people are going to freak out no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Or a wide receiver transfers, or a lineman anybody from that offense transfers, or a kid gets kicked out of school because he caught riding dirty or something, or drag racing like Jalen Carter. There's something's going to happen. A kid's going to leave. A kid's probably going to have to leave because I think he's still over on the scholarship numbers, and people are going to freak out about it, and they're going to blame that situation.
Yeah,
because that's the easiest way to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want that cloud to run into the season, I guess, and all summer. So I don't know, but you're right though. Overall, that defense is way more of a concern.
And
we're light up front. I do not like that. Where's the big bodies? Where's the big bodies in the middle? We don't have the ball.
I don't know.
We don't have the ball.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I do want to say that you're not going to get away from this, because unless something else major happens, it's gonna run into the season, because that's the storyline for the summer.
Yeah.
And then the only way for this story to go away and stop haunting Notre Dame is for that offense to average 35 points a game.
Well, you know what my initial path to making that go away is you run the table until Ohio State, and then you beat them at your place, and then we're all good. That's the short-term path, right?
Yeah, until you go into USC, and you if you lose to USC and everyone's like, well, Ludwig beats them every time he plays them.
It's true.
That you can't.
43 points, 47 points, 2 wins in 1 year. That's a hell of a resume.
Exactly.
It's a big reason I was excited about the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He was putting up some good numbers. I was impressed with his offense, and I was impressed with his resume. So
yeah, and the physical, they play a physical. I like the way
it's physical
for a Pac-12 team. That's about as
Freeman,
physical as it gets.
Freeman said it. Freeman's, I want a pro style offense that's physical.
Yeah.
That's his thing. And I'm all in on that. I'm all in on that. I'm in the Nick Saban camp. I want road graders. I want in the second half of a football game, I want to run the ball down your throat. I want you to know it's coming. Exactly what they did to Clemson. I want you to know it's coming, and you can't stop it. That's to me, that's dominant football. Yeah, that is dominant football. But the problem is you got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah. But
on the defensive side.
Here's the thing, man. When you can run the ball like that, and everybody knows you're going to run the ball like that, and you can't stop it, there's nothing more humiliating to the other side. It is like gorgeous, because there's just nothing you could do. You're getting bullied, and that's just gorgeous. So I think we have more agreement on this than it seems, but I'm dramatic, and it's going to mean a lot to me to just go into all summer feeling better about this.